Yeah, alright, so that's it right there. Yo, 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 it's your boy, Mr. KFC himself, man. Welcome to episode 1 on the Director's Den with KFC and friends, man. You already know how we get down. This week, we're talking about respecting the journey, just, looking through the journey of being a creative, being a videographer, a cinematographer, a creative in all aspects, right? And what does that look like? What does that feel like? And what's the impact of the journey on every creative that's out there? This episode is definitely brought to you by Mr. Johnny Koldstich himself. We would definitely bring him in sooner than later, but we definitely appreciate everybody checking us out and rocking with us. Everybody knows that this is KFC and friends, so I try not to ever go or come anywhere alone, because I believe where one or two or more is gathered, you know what I mean? Not only do we have God present, but we have fellowship and we have all types of just love and passion in the room. And that's kind of what I'm all about. My co-host, man, is somebody special to me, somebody that's definitely been in the game way longer than I have and has my much earned respect. He had respect before he even earned it, but definitely earned my respect, man, throughout the years, and definitely been a great person to be able to bounce ideas off of, and really just everything that you need, in a friend and somebody that's going to really be there for you and really support you, man. And that's my boy Kim Vision. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on and let's see what he got to say. My dog.
What's going on with you?
Yes, sir, man. What up, baby?
Hey, man, cooling, man. About time we got back on this podcast, you know what I'm saying? So,
yes, sir, man. It's episode 1, man.
Yeah,
episode 1. We here.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We
Johnny.
Just to keep it transparent, man. We did this episode before. I'm all about being organic and transparent with the fans, man. We did this episode before, but it wasn't what it should have been for you guys, and so we wanted to make sure that we took the time to really dive back in and make sure we re-record it. And we still working out the kinks, you know what I mean? This is both of our first time. I know Kim has done a podcast before, but it's really both of our first time really kind of on this platform and doing that. Kim, man, this episode is about respecting the journey. And I mean, you a seasoned vet, man. One, just introduce yourself, let people know who you is, and we're just going to dive in on that.
Yeah, so what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Kim Vision. I'm a videographer, been doing it for about 10, 11 years now. I started out doing music, making beats, you know what I'm saying? And I had a camera, and I seen it just sitting on the floor. I wasn't never using it. I had some young cats who came by, and I was recording them, you know what I'm saying? They bought beats off me and all that. And I was just like, hey, y'all want to shoot a video, man? So it kind of just all stemmed from there, man. Shot my first video on Adobe Premiere. It sucked, but I thought it was all right, you know what I'm saying, for it to be my first one. But I feel like we all go through that too, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, this ain't bad, but you look back at it years later,
right,
and the shit just sucked, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. But yeah, that's how everything started, man. So I just picked up the camera and I went from there. It just blew up, and now I've met so many different people, including my man KFC.
Yeah.
And now we're doing this podcast, man. So it's like, hey, what else can we do with these cameras? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey.
Indeed, yes, man. Indeed. And I mean, you talked about, you picked up your first camera doing a video, and but talk about, you know, before the camera life. I mean, obviously you ain't always been a videographer, a cinematographer. You know,
Nah.
what was that like transitioning, and what did you do before that even had you thinking like maybe this is
Yeah.
a possible option?
Yeah. So again, like it all pretty much stemmed from me doing music. You know what I'm saying? So like I've always been into hip hop. You know, just from a kid, and we just talked a little bit earlier about the movie Juice. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to, do some turntable on the scratching and stuff like that. And I did just that, you know what I'm saying? So ever since, basically when I got out of high school is when I started doing the music thing.
Okay.
And I kept it going from there, and bought some turntables. After that, bought a keyboard. After that, bought a drum machine. And the equipment just kept stacking. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah. So then, the whole transition and from the music to the videos, to me wasn't really. To me it was a smooth transition because after looking at the layout of the video editing program like Adobe Premiere or Final Cut,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is kind of similar to how I'm, you know, doing the beats on on Reason, which is another computer, you
Right.
know.
Reasons. Yep.
Yep. So that's what I was on before. Well, yeah, I got on that after having an actual keyboard. So I had the Yamaha Motif. Some of y'all
Okay.
might know that, you know what I'm saying? But
Nah. See, you gotta be an engineer to know all that language.
yeah, I know. So yeah, man. But that whole transition to me was actually pretty smooth for real, because
Dope.
and the more you do it, the more shit just starts coming to you. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to learn the whole UI, the user interface, and after that, you good for real. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
something just came to me because I was like, oh, this is just like on here. Oh, I can do this. Oh, this is just it's real similar. So yeah, yep. So that's how I started, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up,
Yeah, no
man.
doubt.
It's crazy that, you know, as a creative, man, we all realize that we are all creatives, right? And, you know, it takes a lot really of energy to really like keep that process going. And I know we live in the world now of technology. We live in the world of everybody's a photographer.
Yeah.
Everybody's a videographer, right? And you know, everybody has access to cameras and the same things that we do. What is, you know, I guess to you, man, what separates somebody that really is on the journey and somebody that is just trying to hop into the next niche? Like, what's the
Yeah.
difference? You know,
So
because in my eyes, and not to cut you off, Kim, in my eyes, you know, I think there's a lot of people out here, man. And the reason why I wanted to talk about respecting the journey is because there's a lot of people out here that don't really respect the journey. They just
yeah,
feel like it's an industry where you jump in, get on YouTube, you
yeah,
look up a million videos,
yep,
and I'm certified now, right?
yeah,
You know,
yep. That's what they say.
I'm that
Yeah,
guy now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
That's exactly how it
I
is.
done watched a couple guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They showed me how to get the gimbal set up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And now I'm, you know, which I feel like in a way is not really. It's like they're appreciating the knowledge and the learning, but also not giving respect to the journey.
yeah,
What I mean, when you think of that and you think of just how many people are creatives, right? And I mean, you are still somebody that gets booked a lot and everything. What do you feel like separates, you know, those that are really on the journey versus those that are just, you know, picking it up and thinking that, you know, they are you?
yeah. So that's funny.
Because everybody think
So
they Kim Vision.
hey, man. So I could go so many different ways with this. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, today, just like you said, they pick up a camera, they watch a couple videos, like, oh yeah, oh, I got this.
Right,
But the whole thing is, if you like, the reason why I have the respect in doing this is because you could tell that I'm genuine about it.
right,
I'm not out here just trying to be the man. I'm not trying to be the best at it,
right,
but you can tell in how I put in the work that, oh, he's solid. You know what I'm
right,
saying? He
right,
knows exactly what he's doing, So
right,
this is an art form. Just like people who rap, it's an art form, but they may not look at it like that as well, like
Right.
I do with the videographer, or even when I was an artist. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I look at it like this is to me is it's fun. It's I have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just enjoy myself, you know. Whereas the people who do decide they want to pick up a camera, they see it as like, oh, I can make some quick money. Whereas they're not learning the actual art from,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So picking up a camera isn't all like they think it is. Like I've seen a lot of people come and go. You
Right.
know, yeah, you still got to learn this camera, and you're not about to pay
Yeah.
$2, $3, $4,000 for a camera and expect it to
Right.
do what it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna take some
Talk to him, Kim.
practice. You know
Talk
what I'm
to
saying?
him
So
right now.
like that's exactly what it is, man. It's like, I mean, yeah, granted now, you know, we got these phones who's like iPhones and
Right.
Androids shooting good video now too. But again,
Fire.
you still have to learn the program. You still have to even learn how to kind of,
Right.
learn. You need to learn your shutters, your shutter
Right.
angles, all that
Right.
good stuff. ISO, like it's not just pick up and go. Come on,
You
y'all.
know now you're somebody that has the iPhone 15,
Yeah.
right? It shoots S-Log. Is it S-Log 2 or S-Log 3?
So it's called Apple Log.
So
it is a
Apple
log.
Log. So
Yeah, they
what
call
would
it
that be
Apple
more
Log.
resemblance to? Is that more resemblance to S-Log 2 or S-Log 3?
3, definitely 3.
Okay,
It's
so
pretty much be almost equivalent as S-Log 3. Yes.
okay, so we got iPhone 15 with basically equivalents of S-Log 3. If I'm just a normal user, I pick up that phone and I go out and shoot something. What's one thing? And this is a gem, y'all. This is really a gem that we about to give you. What's one thing that you would tell somebody that's picking up that phone and they want to be able to use that phone for video capability that they would need to know that they won't know just being a user and a buyer of Apple iPhones? Because you got the phone. You got the phone. You know what I mean? But you're also a videographer, so you know how to use it. But a lot of people are just buying that phone and they think they know how to use the Apple Log, but they really don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it comes down to color grading. So what would you say?
That's exactly where I was about to go with that. So yeah, just because you get this phone and you do put it in log, you need to ask yourself, what are you going to do with it? Do you know how to color grade this? Or do you even know what a conversion LUT is?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so now you got to put it in here like, dang, why does it look like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing wrong? Well, that's where you fucked up, because the phone's not going to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a conversion LUT. You know, you gotta know how to balance the exposure,
right?
Even when you do put it in, you know what I'm saying? Because it could come out hot. It could come out with the highlights blown and everything. You know what I'm saying? But you still gotta have some knowledge on what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So we could talk about this all day. You know what I'm saying? As far as what you're doing wrong, because I could tell you 3 things that you're probably gonna do wrong off rip. You know, but
what's those 3 things? What's those 3 things?
Yeah, so with any camera, you got the ISO, you got the shutter,
okay,
and the frames per second.
Yep.
If you don't know what any of those 3 things do, your footage is gonna come out fucked up. You know, so those are 3 basic things. You know, you gotta learn as a videographer for real.
You know,
man.
you know what's crazy is I didn't even know the iPhone until I was at a WNBA game with Erica Willard, and there was a girl that sits there. She does social media content, right? And because she does social media content, she's very familiar with like iPhones and stuff like that. She don't really use a lot of like cameras and stuff because all her stuff is strictly on the phone. Like she's uploading directly to Twitter. But she put me on game. I didn't know that you can even change just your regular camera and the frames per second and all that. And I'm a videographer, but I don't use my phone for those reasons. But it's crazy the amount of unlimited access that people have to be able to create great videos, great content, right? I mean, nowadays you don't really need a camera to just do everyday content.
You don't.
You can literally get a phone. You can get the
Yeah.
iPhone 15. I mean, heck, I got the iPhone, I don't know, whatever the one that came out before that one, 14, and the camera on it is fire. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it is.
It's a great camera. The portrait mode, the cinematic mode, I use those modes a lot. Those are all just very unique features that at one point in time you would have had to hire somebody like me. Have you seen any decrease in just the amount of work that you may be getting, in the past few years based on you just all the technology advances and different things that's happened?
So not with the technology advances. No, the only thing that I could see as far as things slowing up or whatever is
Mm-hmm.
because the amount of videographers that we have now in the city.
Got
You
you.
know, but again, if you kind of stay, excuse me, um, knowing what like you just gotta pretty much stay in the game. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And learn different things that's still gonna have people look at your stuff. But yeah, it's
right,
just really just the amount of videographers that we have in the city now who want to shoot videos. Because with that being said, you're gonna always have the person who's gonna come in and charge less
right.
price. You know what I'm saying? Less money.
It's the
And
hustle game.
it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's
You
the
know what I'm
hustle
saying?
game. We all been there. I mean, I remember at one
Definitely.
point in time I was shooting videos, bro. Music videos, marketing them babies at 300. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
$300. And spending 4 hours, 5 hours with the artist.
Yeah.
I guess a part of the journey, because you do a lot of music videos, my guy, and that's like one of the areas that for me I'm not really like majorly big on because of the fact I just dealing with the artist, right?
Yeah.
And the unprofessionalism and just the lack of competency, when it comes down to dealing in business, right? I feel like there's a lot of good artists out here. Obviously, there's a lot of artists that talk about the same stuff. With music videos, I always felt like it's a rinse and repeat cycle, and it's very
Mm.
hard, especially in the market we're in Columbus, Ohio, to find artists that are willing to expand their mindset and their thought process about what their videos look like. Now, mind you, you
Yeah.
don't have a lot of options. This ain't Cali, you know what I mean? This ain't
Right.
Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
This ain't nowhere where it's mountains and hills and all that. Like, you're not gonna get all those. California is a FPV drone operators, gold mine, right? Like, we don't
Yeah.
have all of that. How do you continuously find the way to be able to, one, cater to the artist? Because I've been on a couple of your music video shoots and you be dealing with some wild individuals. And then two, just to keep the mastery of the art, the mastery of being able to create. For me, once one year I did 50 weddings, right? It was
Mm.
so hard for me to come up with something unique for every wedding
Yeah.
because I was more so burnt out from
Yeah.
doing weddings. Really, like I did so many in one year, like it was just real. I really just got burnt out. How do you keep the engine rolling, man? Because you are literally one person in the city that I feel like literally you know how to keep that steam going. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I've always admired it, man. But I would love to hear from you just on how you keep that going.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll have to say some of the artists that I do meet um, help me with that. Because if I get along with you and the music is good and we come up with a plan together, like I'm gonna have great ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So it's
right,
um, like I can name off a couple artists. You know what I'm saying? And we just have that chemistry. Some
right.
just want you know like you said, the same old, you know, in the kitchen, some guns. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? They kind of mimic, what the other people are doing that they see on YouTube, whatever. That's cool. But at the same time, if you want to stand out, you have to come outside that box. And so, for me,
Right.
why I feel like I still am able to, get shoots, I tend to think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? So like a good artist, I'll name him right now, Wimbush.
Right.
We come up
Shout
with
out to
great
Winbush.
ideas. Yeah, my dog. We come up with just some crazy ideas, man. And I tell these artists too, like when I do even the new ones I meet, like, hey, oh, you might want to do this, and they'll some will listen and some are like, nah, I just want to do, something real simple. Which simples could be fine too, because I get it. Everybody's budget isn't the same. And it does come down to budget,
Right. Right.
say I
It
will say
does.
that. So I mean, I can't fault everybody, but you do get the ones who do want to be like, hey, yeah, let's go on your idea, or we come up with something together and we come outside that box and boom, we got a dope video. And then people be like, man, how y'all come up with that? You're like, hey, it's just,
Right.
it really comes
But
down to the
it takes artists really wanting to invest in their craft. See, this is the thing.
yes,
I think the reason why I stopped doing music videos is because artists don't really care to just really like put together a full set.
yeah.
Like they really want to pull up at BP. They want to pull up at BP gas station.
You ain't lying.
You know what I mean? They want you to pull out thousands of dollars worth of gear. Didn't have a location booked, nothing, right? We just pulling up dolo, customers going in and out. In a rough neighborhood, you know what I mean? And I'm just very conscious, man. You know, we both married, we both got kids, you know what I mean? We both got families, people to return home to. Some of these people, man, some of these artists, man, they don't care about none of that, you know what I mean? And, the last time I did a music video, man, the video set kind of went awry, man. Police came and a whole bunch of different stuff, man. And, it just got to be a lot. And so, I really have a strong kudos to you and seeing how you move in that lane because it's very consistent. And I think that does come down to, obviously, the relationships that you are building. I see you doing more work now with more repeated clients, right? Like it's not so much a lot of new people, it's a lot of repeated clients such as Wimbush. I think Wimbush probably is probably your biggest artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside of, I'm sure you probably shot some other, artists that's probably, got a buzz or stuff like that. But as far as like somebody that's really like overall, that's really like putting together a project, you know what I mean? In Wimbush, you can see the effort even in him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he has
Definitely.
that hustle, he has that grind. He's flying to Atlanta, Cali, he's doing all these shows and stuff, and he fronting the money, right? He putting up money for himself so that he can support himself. You know what I mean? Not everything is given to you as an artist. That's the type of dedication that you got to put into your craft, and it's the same thing with anything that's creative. If you're not putting
you got to,
your mouth where your money is.
Yeah, you got to have like, yeah, definitely. Yep. So it's like, I understand the artists, they want to, have the money, like for their outfits, for the video. I get it. But for you to go longer, long ways, whatever, you have to invest outside of the clothes. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go buy new gear every time for a video. You can wear something that you have. You ain't got to be all cute. You know what I'm saying? So it's just put your money into the marketing. That's where people are gonna see you. You know what I'm saying? Like more. You can't just be popping in the city. If you trying to be a real artist, you have to market yourself and be seen everywhere else, not just in the city.
Right, and embrace the journey. I think that's another thing that really doesn't happen a lot. People aren't embracing that journey. I had somebody tell me, man, one time I was complaining, man, just really just complaining, looking to them just to lend an ear, and the one thing he said to me, he said, and it stuck with me and it'll probably stick with me forever. He said, how old are you? And I said, I think at the time I was like 27, 28. And he was like, man, at 27, 28, man, you know where I was? I was in jail, locked up behind bars. Didn't even have no opportunity to really, make nothing crazy of myself, to really take my talents here and there. I got to wait until I'm in my 30s and now I'm out of prison and try to get rebalanced to life and all that. And I'm still happy, right? So, like, what he was telling me was respect the journey you in, man. For
Yeah.
one, realize where you at and all the things that you've came through and you've conquered through, right? I mean, heck, I've literally learned to celebrate the small wins. And what that means is, like, I ain't got to have a big win today. If I can master how to do
Yep.
this today, one little thing, I had a great day. And that was something that really stuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, really embrace the journey, see where you're at, and then understand you young, man. I think we're so used to seeing younger people now being very successful, right? Especially when you're trying to be successful. You really, your IG feed, your Twitter feed, all these feeds is filled with successful people, right? So you constantly putting that in your head, in your spirit, success, success, success. This is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I watch him because I get that motivation from over here. I watch them because they motivate me in this area. But all they're saying is respect the journey. Respect where you at. You get what I'm saying? Like, and grow, because you're never done learning. You're never done growing, right? And I think, you know, that was like major for me, because that helped me get through some burnout periods. Like, and it didn't save the music videos. I cut that all the way out. But when it come down to like weddings and just even film itself, man, you know, I can't never say I've really had a moment where I just wanted to give up. But I've had moments, man, where I really second guess myself. And is this really where, you know, God wants me to be? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing right now? You know, is it, you know, because business is slow, you know what I mean? I'm seeing such and such over here. They booming, you know what I mean? I can't get nobody to come, you know, book with me here, you know what I mean? And that always, that really hurts you even more, you know what I mean? Because then your mind starts playing these own tricks and games on you, man. And so, you know, I really think, you know, at the end of the day, man, being respectful of the journey and really seeing where you're at right now and really embracing it, right, and enjoying it. Like you said, I think that was something critical you said. You said, I like to enjoy what I'm doing. You enjoy actually everything you do, you know what I mean? And that's to me, that right there speaks volumes, you know what I mean? Especially for somebody like you, man, that I feel like is constantly moving. I mean, you like literally the only dude I know, man, that be moving outside of KB and a couple other guys that's out there, man. I feel like you're consistent. And it's crazy because I'm sure if we talk to KB, you know, that's somebody else that's in the city that's very consistent. He probably
we gotta have him on too.
Yeah, we definitely got to bring KB on, man, because I think he's definitely somebody that can speak to those sentiments, man, especially somebody that deals with artists, you know, probably even rougher than the ones you be dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because it's levels to this. You know, that music video game, bro, had me strapped on the hip, on the leg, and I had an AR on the back. I'm like, hold on, I don't know none of these guys. You know what I mean? So, you know,
I don't deal with that anymore. That's funny. But he. Yep, I used to.
You
have
say
all that.
so you done. So you don't really. So how, you say you done with that. So how do you decide what you want to do? Is it really based on if Kim wants to do it?
Yeah, that for sure. But here's the thing: as your prices go up, you start weeding out some of the ones. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like you start getting the ones who do want to pay.
Right.
What you're worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they start realizing that, and then they'll start going over here where the other ones will come over here with me. You know, so that's how that. So believe me, I used to be all up in the hood. It was cool. I mean, they respected me. You know, I respect them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I never had no issues. You know, but you do be in on neighborhoods though. But yeah, you just start after a while. You just people,
they almost respect you enough to not let that drama come near you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and that's respectable and that's commendable. You know what I mean? Because you know, at the end of the day, you know, everybody. Just because somebody live off of Miller and Kelton or somewhere in the hood, don't mean that they not deserving of quality work. You know what I mean? I just feel like, you know, if you are hiring somebody that's professional as we are, or somebody that really like is invested in what they got going on, just make sure that it's cool. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Just
Yeah,
make sure
yeah,
that
yeah.
all your people good, and make sure that everybody is straight, because nobody's trying to deal with any madness. Nobody. I'm here on professional tip, and then things really go sideways when I say I'm done. Look, I'm packing up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And then everybody want to, then it really gets, we trying to stay clear of that, because we want to continue to create. We want to continue to create with our own people.
great. Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard a quote, bro. Not a quote. It was a story. Dude basically said, and I seen this on IG. He said there was a big boat that was going down and the engine had went out on it. So they had to hire somebody to come fix, like, a big boat's engine. Well, the guy came, he pulled out a hammer, he had a little bag. He pulled out a small little hammer, and he knocked on the engine. It started right up. They asked him, they said, "How much does this cost?" And he said $22,000. No, he said $20,000. And the guy said, "You was here for 5 minutes." And he said, "Yeah." He said, 19,500 of that. No, he said $500 was for the hammer that you see me fix it. 19,500 was the price for my experience over the last 30 years of working on boats. That's what respecting the journey gets you. Once you really get in the game, somebody that's as seasoned as Kim, and he still probably got a long way to go, right? We all do. But the more time you put into what you love, the more respect you can, and you can demand your price. You can say, "This is my price," because we ain't got to sit here all day. We're not going to continue going back and forth about that. Will this fix it? Will this fix it? I already knew what the problem was. I've dealt with this for 30 years.
Yeah.
That's why it cost 20 grand. That blew my mind and brought a lot of perspective into why I do what I do, and why we do what we do, and why this is what we should be aiming for as creatives, is to get to that point of 30 years of tenure in the game. At that point, man, you could pretty much choose what client you want to work with, what client you don't want to work with. You know what I mean? And people know when he come, the job gonna get done. You get what I'm saying? And so,
and
they
know that too. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Don't ever diminish the journey, man. Stay the course, because eventually somebody gonna be paying you strictly for experience.
Yeah.
By itself, you know what I mean? And I think that was just amazing when I seen it, and like I said, it just brought a lot of clarity for myself. Just
where'd
like,
you see
wow.
that at?
I seen it on IG, bro. I'm gonna have to send you the video, man, because it was really dope, and it was just one of those things where I was like, It was just like, keep going. Like, you see little messages like that, it just says keep going, man. Like, every day ain't sunny, every day ain't rainy. You know what I mean? Just keep going. You know what I mean? Right. And I think at the time it's crazy because how God works in my life. It was what I needed at that moment to hear. And I just seen it. It was just something simple, but it was just like, stay the course, man. I'm big on creatives, and I'm big on people that are just really, really dope at what they do. I'm big on people that can come from the mud, you know what I mean, and really turn mud into gold. And our guest, man, is somebody that I feel like truly has done that. He's embodied that. He's done everything under the sun that I've seen him do. I mean, dude does paintings, he does artwork, woodwork. I mean, bro is like really gifted in a lot of areas. Not a cinematographer really, but can operate cameras. Not a audio engineer, but knows how to operate some audio. Kind of like a jack of all trades. And sometimes it's good to really have a lot of different tools in your back pocket to be able to use. I definitely want to bring him on, but I just wanted to make sure we brought him on right. I'm gonna go ahead and read his bio here, man, because I was really impressed by when I seen it, man. His name is Johnny Gang. For years, I've searched for the answer to the question, what category do I fit into? I paint, I build, I video edit, special effects, I do music, public speak, entrepreneur, patent owner. I mean, yeah, bro made a whole tissue box. He got to talk about that. Graphic design and a lot more. And have come to realize came to the realization that I was made in the image of the creator. So therefore, being in his likeness, I too am a creator. My skills and talents aren't just things I do. It's who I am. No boundaries other than that, than the ones I create. So I humbly introduce myself as John Koldstich, the creative. I want to before I bring Johnny on, man. I just want to go ahead and play a couple videos, man, because when I think of bro, and y'all gonna kind of tell this is somebody that I know kind of personally. Outside of the many things he said he do, he forgot to he left out that bro is literally the funniest dude in Central Ohio. I mean, type of person that literally can do multiple personalities and all that, man. He really reminds me of what's that dude's name, Kim? He's viral now. He be doing the impersonations of like all the players, Dion, Lou, what's his name? Lou, I'm gonna look him up on IG, but I follow him, man. Dude got crazy amount of work. He reminds me of him. So I just wanted to play a couple videos real fast of my guy because dude is too funny. He's too funny. So check these out, man. Check these out.
Make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water.
That's the game. That's it. Nobody else, right? You know what I'm saying? So pretty much we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started today. Hey, nephew, let me slide up in this mud. Let me slide up in this mud. You gonna add me to the group? You gonna say my name in the list? You gonna do it?
No, I told you we not adding.
No, hell no. Look, I done been selling ass. I done been selling everything for y'all little.
Yeah, man. Once again, that's my dog. He goes by Johnny Gang, Mr. John Koldstich himself, the creative man. It's a blessing just to be able to have you on here, man. How's it going, man? How's life?
It's kicking my ass, you know. But you know, that's why I think that I was meant to be on this one because it's talking about the process, the things that make you want to stop, the things that deter you, but you finding that strength to be able to dig deep and really realize that this is really the path that you're supposed to be on, and fighting through all of that and still doing it. So not good. I'm getting my ass kicked, but at the same time, it's just like I respect the journey. I respect the process, and I know this is all part of it, and I know where I'm gonna be at the end of it. So it's just like, all right, just bring it on.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I think when I look over your body of work, Johnny, man, it makes me always think of somebody that embraces small beginnings. Talk about the beginning, man, and talk about kind of how everything started for you. How did you even get into being creative, as you would call yourself?
So I'm gonna take it back to the roots of it. Really, at the beginning, there were two things. One, my biggest role model was my sister. I thought my sister was so dope, and she colored in a different way. She drew like these little fashion figures, and I thought that was dope. So I always used to mimic after her, but she would hate when I do that because she said I was stealing her style, and so I was forced to find my own style. But before then, man, like really, to the core of it is because I lacked. It was a lot. I grew up. I'm not trying to highlight or sing praises of the hood or nothing like that, but I came from a rough background. We didn't have a lot. My first pair of Jordans were hand-me-downs from the thrift store, and then my second pair was like last year. And so it's just I really came from humble beginnings, and we didn't have a lot, but I saw all these other kids had this, all these other kids had that, and I knew my mother wasn't going to get it for me, so I was forced in a position where if I really want it, then I'm going to make it myself. And so like those, like I talked about those little basketball hoops out of the milk crates, and you find a wood piece. I was the one who was making those back out in the hood, and we didn't have a basketball.
Before you go into that, because you did speak on that at one point in time, man, I want to share a video It was something that I came across on your page, man. I always try to do a deep dive on the artist page
Okay.
and the creators page just to kind of see, what type of stuff they're into, man. And you dropped some really good gems. I want to drop this video, man, and this is basically just Johnny talking about, why art.
Art. Why do you draw, sketch, paint, whatever your art form is? Why do you do it? Is it for affirmation? Is it for you want to get your Michael Bosky out on? You want to be a well-known artist and the people talk about you years in advance? Your Frida Kahlo or your Pablo Picasso? Like, why are you doing it? Again, is it the affirmation? Do you want the likes, the hearts, the flames? Oh man, this is dope, man. You're amazing. This is dope. Oh my goodness, I could never do this. Oh, like, heart, whoosh, flames. Is that why we're doing this? Now, you can lie to me all you want to. I cannot tell you your truth. But as soon as you ask yourself this question and you're 100% honest with yourself, then you'll be able to figure out why you're really doing this artwork, which is going to lead you to the next step. It's figuring out what your purpose is.
All right. So, you talked about the importance of why art, and then you talked about how finding the art and finding out why you do it leads you clearly into your purpose. Expound on that.
Yeah. So a lot of people are just trend followers, right? They see something that's working, they realize that they may have the skill set to do it. Maybe they can kind of chime in on some of the recognition or maybe the money that may come with it.
Right.
But as soon as the spotlight is off of that, they gone too. And so for me, I really live and breathe this. And so when there is no spotlight, that's what I'm doing, right? When
Right.
there's no recognition, this is what I'm doing. And so I've realized, I've asked myself the question, like, why do I do this? And it's because honestly, I feel like my purpose is to be a creative, to remind people of the lack of limitations that we actually have. And so me coming from a very impoverished background, for people to be able to see some of the things that I created, they're just like, damn, how did he do that? He didn't have the money.
Right.
He didn't have the
Right.
resources. He ain't how. And I'm just like, because all I need is me. I'm a creator. That's what I do. You give me you talk about, God and how he created the heavens and the earth and all of that stuff, created man out of dirt. And it's just like he had very minimal, and he just spoke
Right.
life into it and he just did it. And so
Right.
me looking back at that, I'm like, that's what I am too. But y'all gonna see it modern day. Like, so a lot of people will see, like, you just took this pile of wood and then you created this masterpiece. Like, yeah, because all of that is in my mind, and my special skill is taking an idea and breathing life into it and making it a real thing so that you can touch, see, feel it, you can experience it. That's my niche, and I feel like that's a huge part of my purpose, is to remind people what power they have, and it's in them. It's not in these exterior things that you feel like you may be lacking in order to create it.
Dope. Do
Yeah.
you feel like you look for the lack? Is that like a
Hell
part
no.
of the process for you? Do you look for the lack? Because I feel like
No.
sometimes, man, the stuff that you be cooking up, I'm like, I could have $1 million and I probably still wouldn't make that.
Right. Nah, man. You know what? To be honest, bro, the lack is the secret sauce. So, like, you think about, let's just talk about music. You think about a lot of the artists when they first come out. That's usually some of their hottest work, right? Because that's where their hunger is. That's where their drive, their passion for this, striving to get to this success point.
Right.
Look at Jay-Z. Like, he was a heck of a lot more aggressive when he first started. Actually, even better, 50 Cent. Look at 50 Cent when he first came out. Get Rich or Die Trying. Like, I don't know, not one artist who
Arguably
came
still
out.
the best
Yeah.
album, probably
Yes.
out.
I'm just
I
like,
mean,
how do you know? Like, when was the last time you got to see something like that? That's the reason why I actually was a fan of Pop Smoke. I'm like, but it's just like you get to see these new people and this like intense level of hunger to strive for success. And so ultimately, it comes from those beginnings where they didn't have, and they're grinding trying to get it, and eventually they're successful, they get it, and then you get to see the aftermath of it, and everybody just sees that and they want to jump to the successful part, but they don't understand how much work 50 Cent put in. Like 50 was like, he was a street, like he was a grinder on a whole nother level. I read his book,
Mhm.
and just talking about some of the ideas or some of the things that he did, it's like a little sneaky. He like lied to get inside of this um what is this? It was a building for one of the record labels. He lied and said he was an intern, and he got in there and he was just hanging around certain people and he was just gathering information. He wasn't even supposed to be in the building. Like, but you hungry enough, you're gonna try to find a way to get it, and you're gonna do
Right.
stuff like that. So the
Yeah.
lack is that core of it. So no, I don't look for lack. Trust me, I want to stop lacking. I'm looking for the success of it. I don't want to struggle no more.
Right.
But I'm not there yet. And the one thing I always say is the worst thing you can say to me is that I can't do something, because then you're gonna strike a couple of things. You're gonna, one, strike the fact that it's something that I don't have.
Right.
That's gonna you're gonna touch on my lack. And
Right.
then saying that I can't do something means that you can't vision me in this success level because of this barrier.
Right.
And I'm just like, watch. And then I just get into it. Absolutely probably the most stubborn person that I've ever met in my life.
Right.
And that's my superpower. I
Mm.
don't know limitations. I don't know you can't, I can't because of X, Y, Z. Like, I don't know those. I don't know how to maneuver on those. And people who try to get me to maneuver in the way that they believe, I tried it. I tried doing what they said doing, but it didn't work, and it ended up happening the way that I wanted it to happen in the first place. So I'm just like, I do me. If I gotta take a L, if I gotta slow down, if I gotta, Jesus gotta like pump the brakes a little bit, then so be it. But as soon as he opened up that gate, I'm 100 miles per hour. I'm shooting through.
Right. That's crazy. I think, Troy, you come from Johnny. Y'all got
Yeah,
y'all
it's
got
either way.
bear with me, man. The boy got multiple names. You know, it'd be hard. It'd be hard for
Multiple
me to
names,
separate. Yeah, y'all
multiple
know him. Y'all call him
personalities.
Johnny. The man named Troy, but
I got the initial video up though that explains that exactly. It explains who Troy is, who John Koldstich is, who King Cold is, and then I sprinkle in just to spice it up a little bit.
that's his multiple personalities. Y'all make sure y'all go
It
check out
is
my guy, man. Make sure y'all go follow him, man. Johnny Koldstich. Um,
for sure.
when you
So I got a
talk,
question.
yeah, go ahead, Kim. Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I'm
was
about to
just
grill
gonna
him. I'm about to grill him. Go ahead.
No. I was even saying like as I'm listening, it's like, and then you kind of with your recordings, like how is it that you come up with some of the content that you do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
Like what fuels that? Is that what you
yeah,
asking? Like what
yeah.
fuels that?
Bro, actually, that's an amazing question. I'm actually really glad that you asked that because I don't get the opportunity to explain this to too many people.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'll try to make it short. The origin, one, Johnny Gang is my brand. And the reason for this, with the zero with the line through it
Yeah.
and all of that is because initially I started it because I was like, it's for me and my cousins, the ones who grew up with me, and like, this is my gang. I always thought that you needed a gang or a group of people or a team to be able to progress. And I found myself always helping other people with their vision, but no one helping me with mine. And so when I realized that I don't have a gang, is nobody, it's just me, but I have everything that I need to be able to do what I need to do. One of the things that I struggle with is, okay, well, if I want to be on camera, who the hell gonna record me? I'm like, well, how do I get those live, action shots and all of that stuff? How do I do that? And it's just me, or if somebody else does come to me, they don't know what I know. They don't know how to work the camera. They
Right.
don't know about the ISO triangle. They don't know about 3-point lighting. They don't know about just like structuring an entire shot. And then I take an amazing photo or video of somebody else, but then mine look like trash. I look like I'm part of the what is that, the protective services.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And so it's just like it started again with lack. I don't have anybody. I don't have a gang. And so I created these different personalities where Troy is the brain behind the operation. Koldstich is the artist, the creative. King Cold is the ego.
Mm-hmm.
And Unk is the comedic relief. And I'll just do it by myself. So I think of certain things like well, one, that's why I got those characters, and then I'll just be at home by myself, and just a random idea will pop in my head. I think the last one I did was that what is it, that water challenge. So I'm scrolling on IG and I'm just like,
Make
oh
me
my god.
sweat. Make me.
And so I'm thinking, I'm just like, okay, one, I'm a classic dude. I'm like, so I'm not about to be over here like sweating with my tongue out looking at these women. And so I'm just like, hell, I'm gonna blame it on Unc. And so I'm just like, what if we show Unc and him being the older dude? What if we show him the video and he's sweating bullets and we're laughing at him? And that's exactly what I did, because that's initially what I thought about with myself. Um, and then that
That's funny.
original video where I had, it was a split screen, and it was Cold Stitch and Unk in the same shot where he
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
he's
I
selling
wanted to
ass and
comment on
everything.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so which I'll break that down too. But with
yeah,
that one, I wanted to try to explain to everybody, is I'm just like zero, nobody, ain't nobody else. It's just me. That's the gang. And then I was just like, what if Unc was just like, let me in the gang? And I'm just like, no. And then he just started cussing me out. And so I lined up my phone. I got the iPhone 14 Pro Max,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this corner edge. If you look at that video, it's a corner that's right in the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, I lined it up perfectly, put it on my tripod. I recorded me just talking into the camera first, and then I knew to turn to open up to this angle so I'm not crossing that barrier.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
And I knew to look back and talk to Unc and don't cross this line, this imaginary line. Don't do that. So I did that. Then I still running. I put my Unc wig and mustache on. Look, I got look. I got my mustache right here. I keep this thing right here
So
on.
so is your different personalities? Is that your way of, like you said, Troy wouldn't be just on the gram looking, like girls, blah,
Right,
blah, blah.
right, right,
Is
right.
that your license to do it?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes, it is. 100%. So like it's like the different ways that I want to represent myself. Um, I embedded into the different characters. Like so for real, when I want people to see my creativity, that's John Koldstich. Really, you don't see Troy on camera at all. He's just the one who thought about all of this and who put it all together. But Cold Stitch is the painter. He's the one who got the paintings and all of that stuff. And then King Code that's my alter ego. When I want to look attractive, when I want to like I'm the man, I'm the shit, and I know I am, and can't nobody
Right.
tell me nothing.
Right.
And I'm a wear this jacket, I'm gonna do this, and I know everything look good. That's my ego. That's why that's King Code. And then when I just want to be absolutely ridiculous, just to mess stuff up because I'm goofy, I blame all of that on Unc. And so I get to like really my personality, I get to show it, but I get to separate it in three different characters so people can
Right.
understand that character, but really you're understanding me as a full person in individual instances on how I
Yeah.
present them.
That's dope.
Yeah. I like that.
That's
I
dope,
like
man. When it come down to just overall creativity, man, I think that you're very unique. I think that
Thank
a
you.
lot of the stuff that when I see it, I'm like, for one, even like I'm a whole cinematographer. I ain't even mastered how to put me in a shot with. If that was the case, I would have kept doing music, cause like music videos about to be hitting, bro. Like I'm in it. Me too.
Yep.
I'm gonna have EJ, Wayne, Eddie, KFC.
Yep.
What's the
Yep.
third name I might have went by back in the day? JR. Everybody in the video. How is it you?
Yeah, man.
I ain't even learned how to do that, man. So I think the stuff that you're doing, man, is dope.
Thank you.
You
Thank
said
thank you.
you said something earlier that really piqued my interest, man. You said you were talking about how you not looking for the lack. How do you have you thought about the transition of when you don't have to lack, right? Like when there is no lack, how do you plan on staying motivated? Because it seems like up until now, a lot of the motivation has came from the lack.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a really good question, and it has. Um, but I've never one thing I've never lacked is my ideas, my personality,
Mm-hmm.
what I desire. Even after Like after I create something, like I created one of my paintings. I got a couple of them that I'm like kind of toggling between my favorites. And I'm just like, after I did it, I'm amazed myself, just like, how the hell did I do that?
Right.
I couldn't do that again even if I wanted to. But as soon as it's done and I put it up on social media and everybody just like, oh yo, that's dope. Cool. And then it died down. I'm like, cool, what's next? I'm like, so I never really get to a point where I'm satisfied fully. Like I appreciate it. Actually, this is one thing that I will say. I heard Denzel Washington say this, and I think he was quoting Les Brown, but he said, imagine this: you're on your deathbed, and you're getting ready to die, and around the edge of your bed are spirits of the different
Mm-hmm.
ideas that you never brought to life, and they're pissed
Mm-hmm.
off at you because you had everything that it took to be able to bring them to life. You just didn't do it, and he was just like, so imagine that. How many of those idea spirits will be around your bed, pissed off at you? That scared me so bad, and it gave me the idea where I was just like, when I go, I want to go empty. I gotta completely unload this chamber. I'm like, so when it's
Pause.
time for me
Whoa.
to die, I'm just like, I did this, I had this idea, I did all of those, I brought them all to life, and
Right.
people know what I'm capable of doing. I'm not taking none of these ideas to the afterlife with me. Everything got to get going here. And
Right.
so until I run out of those, and I keep thinking of more, until I run out of those, I'm not stopping.
Right. Nah, I mean, I think that he definitely was quoting Les Brown. Shout out to Les Brown,
Hmm.
man. That's my mentor. Man, I'll be trying to call him every like every blue moon, man. Last time it's sidebar, but last time I had to call him because somebody tried to tell me I ain't know him, and I had his phone number, and I was like, let me just call him right now. He picked up too. It was like, hey Eddie. It was like, hey, yeah. I'm not saying I'm
Yeah,
nobody. You know what I mean?
you had
I
to
ran
flex
into
on
him.
him. You had to flex on him.
I ran into him. At Verizon, but he definitely was quoting Les Brown. But yeah, that always sticks with me, man. They say the wealthiest place,
God,
bro, is the
yeah.
graveyard. Um,
Yes, sir.
that's where everybody's
Yes, sir.
dreams die. That's where all the
Yep.
talents get buried that were never, out there. And I think, you know, I think, man, looking for the lack ain't really a bad thing for real. I like that. Like I like that theory. You know what I mean? Because it's not
Hmm.
so much that I'm lacking financially. You don't have to lack financially to get have creativity. You could lack with supplies,
Hmm.
right? And I find that, and Kim knows me best. Most of the time, when I'm lacking on supply, I just go buy it, right? I just get online, Amazon, go buy it. Hit Kim up, talk to him about 10 days. I talked to him about it for about 10 days, and then by then, he already know. It's in the cart.
It's in the car.
I'm like, and
You about to have it.
his next question is, when are you going to have it, brother? Because I know you about to buy it, right? But if we just really thought outside of just Amazon, outside of just going to buy it and really thought about different ways to be
Hmm.
creative, I'm sure that there could have been a lot
Oh,
more
oh,
other avenues
oh.
and a lot of other things I could have did to be more creative, if that makes sense, right? When it comes down to just different things, even if it's techniques. I mean, some people say,
Bro,
"Oh, I need a push-in shot." You can push in on set, or you can learn how to push in post, right? It's it may not look exactly the same or give off the same feel, but there's an alternate way to do it without having to go break the bank. And I think that's one of the things that I'm taking away from your story is the reason why you ain't creating is because you're not lacking. And I truly
hmm,
I've
hmm,
literally
hmm.
soaked that in for about a week or two. Pause. I've definitely thought about that over the past 2 weeks of just how I could capitalize on the lack, right? How can I
Bro,
capitalize on that, and how could I make that a part of my creative process?
so check this. Two things that I want to be able to add to that. The reason why I don't look for the lack is because all you need to focus on is what you want. I want this. I want this. I want this. The lack is gonna find you. It's gonna pop up. Nope, can't do that. You ain't got a camera. Nope, you can't do that. You ain't got a crew. You don't got this. You got where you gonna get that background? Where you gonna get this? If you just focus on what you want and strive after that, the lack is gonna come and chase you. And but
Right.
you having the creativity to be able to overcome that, that's where you get to utilize the creativity and you get to practice. You get to practice that. So that's why I don't actively look for the lack, because trust me, it's enough there that is gonna find me.
Yeah, it's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I
it's
don't
right
have
there.
but sometimes we get so full of ourselves. You know, I ain't gonna
Oh
lie,
yeah,
man. There's
for
been
sure.
times where I done had a sweet payday. You know what I mean? A sweet little lick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you feeling good. You know, you go out buy some of the things that you needed or whatever. You know, and there's been plenty of times where my wife has came and said, "Why didn't you just do this? You could have just
Mm-hmm.
did it this way. It would have saved you some money. You know, you could have. You know, it's." For me, it's powerful because I don't look for lack. I look for answers. I look for a result, right? I'm just result driven in that area. When it comes down to it, I just want what I want. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not trying to figure out the loophole around it or anything like that. But that's really robbing me of a lot of creativity. And then we wonder why when we get the next big project, we ain't got no ideas, because you're not constantly keeping yourself in the
Right.
creative process. The reason why I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
start a pod was because I'm starting to do pods. Right? I'm recording people's
Right.
podcasts. I
Right.
can't be great at recording other people's podcasts if I don't know the
That's a good point.
complications and the things that go with it, right? So the only way I'm gonna be
Yeah.
able to know those things is by creating one myself, right? And I'll say that's not the only reason why this podcast was created, but that was a driving force to do it even more, because I need to practice. And so I feel like finding a lack isn't so much as like, don't be lacking financially, don't be lacking, like try to
Mm-hmm.
always set yourself up, but always look for a way to do something before just jumping to the gun and spending $200-300. You know,
For
if
sure.
there's another way, you know, or
For
relationship, you
sure.
know what I mean? Relationship can be that as well. You know what I mean? I could reach out to Kim
Yeah.
and say, hey Kim, you know, can I borrow your drone? Can I borrow your FX3? I mean, he got 3 of them, right? You know, and his answer still might be like, nah, you know what I mean? You know, but you know, bro do got 3 of them. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kim. You know, he got 3. I got none.
We get it, man.
I got none, you know what I mean? So, you know, but I really like that, man. I really truly wanted to capitalize on that. Kim, did you have some?
I got 3 of them. nah, but, nah, but yeah. I mean, Eddie's right though, man. KFC's right. I mean, when you like it, so I mean, you come up with other ways to,
Mm-hmm.
and I've definitely been there with that. So it's like just like when he says something about doing a push in. Saying you could do that
Mm-hmm.
in post. You figure out ways to get something done. Just like with you using
Yeah.
your iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking that before we brought you on. How you could just get things done with an iPhone or your phone or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And which leads me to that. So what when you're editing your stuff, what are you using? What software?
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe the viewers would like to know. It's like, okay, since he's using an iPhone, how's he editing it? Is he using his phone? Is he using a software on a computer?
Yeah.
What is it that you're using?
Boom. So this is about to be full circle. So I don't have a personal computer. My personal computer died on me. I got it in like
Mm.
2012, 2013. It's an iMac, so dead. So it's pretty much investable now. They don't support it. I can't do nothing. That's where all my programs were, and so I don't have a personal computer, so I um can't put Final Cut on there. I can't put Premiere Pro. I can't do Illustrator or Photoshop. I can't do any of that stuff. And
Mm.
so I got the iPhone 14 Pro Max because I like the cameras. I understand it has 48 megapixels, which is higher than my Canon M50. Um, and then I just utilize my phone to get the raw footage, knowing where I'm going to place it. Am I going to put it on Instagram? Okay, well then that's going to need to be in portrait. Am I putting it on YouTube? Okay, that needs to be landscape. I
Mm-hmm.
understand my aspect ratio. I know if I want something to look more cinematic, I know I'm going 24. All right, if I'm just want standard, like a high definition, what everybody used to, I know I'm going 1080p. Um, again, frames per second. I know all of that, so I ultimately think about where I'm going to post this first, and that structures how I'm going to use my camera and how I set everything up. But I use CapCut. It's just an app
What's
on my
that?
phone. It's
Yeah,
like
I'm familiar
it's
with
an
it.
editing app on your phone, and that's how I did that shot that was split with me and Unc in the red blazer. He's talking about him
Mm-hmm.
selling ass. I did all that. Shot it with my phone. I have the Rode to Go microphones, the ones that clip on your
Okay.
collar, little square
Yeah.
ones. I got that. I got the dongle to connect to my phone, so I get the clear audio. I know audio is one of the biggest things when it
Yep.
comes to video footage.
Mm-hmm.
Lighting is probably the most important thing.
Yep.
Um, and then there's a million cameras all over the place. So if I
Right.
know how to do my 3-point lighting, I have phenomenal audio, and I just really got to set up the shot myself. I did that with my iPhone, had great audio, and then I just pasted everything together in CapCut.
Dope, man. So yeah, that tells it's right there that like every these phones like we said earlier with KFC, the phones is right there in your hands, man. You can just do everything
Yep.
with it. And like even today, like when people come to me, they'll ask me like, "Hey, what I'm looking in to get in the video. What kind of camera should I get?" I ask them, "Well, what is your budget?" You know what I'm saying? Like real talk,
Hmm.
the best beginner camera to me is gonna be iPhone 14 on up. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like, and this is something that you're using every day. So
Yeah.
Wow. I
yeah,
can't
so with that,
like that's crazy to even hear is that a beginning camera like
yeah,
those that's listening, if you watching, I mean that's a gem right there. A lot of people, I get so many people like, yo, hey, what's the best recommendation for a camera? And I always tell people, I go to my old reliable Sony A6400. If you know, if you need
mhm,
something that's affordable and something that can get the job done, a great vlogging camera, go to that. But it's still hundreds of dollars, right? I mean,
Hmm.
it's all. I never count nobody else's pockets. You know what I mean? I always try to figure out. Obviously, if somebody's looking for an affordable camera, that's more of a affordable camera. But at the same time, your phone, the thing that you pay a
Hmm.
monthly bill for every
for it,
month,
yeah,
is
yeah,
the best starter camera.
Is
yeah,
more
and
than
it be
capable of
clean,
doing that.
That's
Yeah.
and it be
crazy.
clean.
That's crazy because a lot of
Yep.
people don't know that. They don't even think that because when they see us, they seeing me, Jerry, rigged up with a big old
Yeah,
Hmm.
camera on a steady cam, and they like, yo, I gotta get what E got, or I gotta get what
yeah,
Kim got. Kim got
Hmm.
3-4 cameras at the wedding. You know what I mean? I gotta get that. No. Now your clientele that could be different based on what type of camera or
camera, yeah,
setup you're coming with, but for those that are just content creating, you can get the job done with the iPhone 14 or above, and that's something
Yeah.
that could not be said probably 2 to 3 years ago. And
Right.
that's just keeping it all the way real. You would never hear any creative telling you, "Oh man, just use your phone." Like, and
yeah.
cameras was still decent, but like now S-Log,
Now it's
like
ridiculous.
like
Yeah,
the first videographer I see at a wedding with a
with a
gimbal
phone.
and an iPhone 15
I'm
on it,
like,
I'm gonna be upset.
yeah, yeah,
I
Yeah.
ain't even gonna cap. I'm gonna be hurt, bro. I'm gonna be all the way hurt because how? Come on, Sway. Come on, Sway. So this is what I'm out here getting beat out by.
and it's
Is the
crazy because
iPhone 15. That's crazy,
Bro, look,
man.
it,
And
here's the
it
pause
really
reason.
on that.
Here's the reason. This is the reason why I use the iPhone. Again, I got a Canon M50, so I got the mirrorless camera. Like, I mean, great for blogging. The screen twist, you can see yourself while you're recording.
Mm-hmm.
Is dope. But the fact of the matter is, because I don't have a personal computer to be able to do all my editing on and all of
yeah,
that, I can't like take this video and I got this SD card out of my camera. Now,
Mm-hmm.
how do I get that to my phone?
yeah,
Right? Like
Mm.
I'm gonna need a computer. I'm gonna need this. But if I take
Right.
the video and it's right here on my phone, I got the editing software on my phone,
Right. So
and
you
at
didn't
least
let
on my
nothing
work
stop
computer,
you. So nothing stopped
nothing,
you. And that's
nothing at all.
and
I
that's a thing
pivoted.
out there to the viewers, to the fans, to the people that's watching, to the creative in you. Do not stop. Like don't
Yes.
let nothing hinder your process. I think it's just like food, it's just like eating. We let our stomach we let our eyes be bigger than what we actually need, right? We
For
feel
sure,
like
for
I
sure.
need the laptop, I need this, but sometimes we put ourselves in situations to be like that. If we fully would step back and really think about the things that we're doing, what are we trying to do, right? I know, like my man just said, I got an SD card. I can't put that on the phone, right?
Yeah.
So now I could hold up a whole creative process and a whole
Yep.
all types of content because now I got content, but I gotta wait till I get a computer to edit it. No, instead of just finding out another source, I think that is that right there is crazy enough. You know what I mean? Because of the fact, you know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir.
Like it's literally finding a way, and I think that's a
Yep.
big part of our journey, right? We all get to that place where that's just where we at. You know what I mean? We got to be able to take and make the most out of what we got going on. There was another video that I have here.
Bro, I do want to. I'm
Go
sorry. Go
ahead, go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. No, you good, you good.
No, I was gonna say there's one thing that I've been itching to show y'all. Um, I got to run downstairs and get it real quick.
Okay.
But um, I think it's absolutely like imperative that I show it. So y'all go ahead, chat real quick. I'm gonna be back in less than 1 minute.
So
Just letting y'all know.
what we gonna do, man? I'm about to go ahead and play this video, man, because I think the video speaks volumes to Mr. Koldstich and his creative ability to be able to turn nothing into something. And this is kind of a video on just staying creative, man. Check it out.
Check this out, John Koldstich here, and so many people ask me, like, how did I become so creative? And the answer is actually very simple. Two things. One, I lacked. Two, I was very stubborn, okay? Creativity is only problem solving. So when I was younger, I wanted this basketball hoop and my mother could not afford to get it to me, right? Or get it for me. And so I made my own. You ever seen one of these? Yes. Yeah. Hell yeah. I used to make those. I wanted one. I had to get creative, right? So I had a problem that I needed to solve, and I made my own, right? Sometimes we didn't even have a basketball, so we had to make that too, right? We made it out of tape, like a whole bunch of tape. Duct tape, scotch tape, painter's tape, anything we could find, we was gonna make it. And my grandfather was so pissed. We used all of his tape, right? So by any means necessary, I was going to make what it is that I wanted, and I was not going to allow anything to stop me, not even the lack of finances. The word says if there's a will, there's a way, right? And I was made in the image of the Most High as a creator, as were you, right? So if there's something that you lack, if there's something that you need or something that you just want, make that.
Johnny is back
Make
with us,
it.
man. Johnny, you talked about just make it, and we just came off of a segment just really talking about just really just not allowing nothing to stop the process while you're along the journey. You're gonna go through those seasons, and I know that you said that you had something to show us. What was that?
All right. So you remember my first clothing brand,
Yes, Adamas.
the Damas. So I had that. Literally, I had no money. I was living in my mother's basement. Um, but I knew I wanted it. I wanted to create my own clothing brand. I didn't have the screen print stuff. That machine was like $500-600, and it was just a lot of stuff that I needed, but I wanted it. So, bro, I had $20. I BS you not, $20 is how I started my first clothing brand. And look, this is my first silk screen that I ever made. I took
Okay.
this
Yeah.
I took this mesh material that was like $4. The wood was about $2. I got Mod Podge from like Joanne Fabric, that was like 5, and I drew my logo on there by hand, and I figured out this whole process, and I just lay this right on top of the t-shirt, and I had like a little squeegee thing, and I just pushed it through over there, and I created a mesh screen, and that's how I did my first silk screen. But I literally
That's
made my
crazy.
first T-shirt with $20.
Man,
That's how I was able to do it. And again. So for me, I was just like, I didn't have the money at all. I didn't have it, but I was able to get my hands on $20, and that's how I made my first T-shirt brand, and I built it up to the point that I did. Um, but that's the epitome of what I'm talking about. Something is crazy and raggedy as this, and is this a are you happy about this, or is this the no? But I was cool with starting with whatever quality because I knew it was gonna get better. I'm like, but
Right.
I'm gonna start somewhere, and I'm
yeah.
not. I'm like, I'm going to get it. I sold my first couple of shirts from that thing, and from there, I sold the shirts for like 20. I think I sold my first like 5, and I got 100 now. Now I
Hey,
can buy something else to be able to invest in my bit, and I built it up like that, bro. That's how I started my first clothing brand.
That's
I ain't mad
crazy,
at that.
bro. Just the ground up. You know what I mean? You see that, Kim? That's
Literally.
crazy.
Yep. That's
Just the
dope.
yeah, just the ground up mentality, man. I think you
I
definitely
hate to
somebody
see
that.
if somebody could just do the $1,000,000 and see what he do.
That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for
Oh,
that too. As soon as you get to,
Right, right. Who is it? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Man, I definitely
but you know
think.
the crazy thing though, man. I realize like it, as much as that sounds good, that's so unrealistic. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's
Hmm.
coming to give you nothing. You might not ever hit the lottery. It might not ever happen. And so are you gonna sit there and wait for
Right,
somebody to give you something or to discover you? Or are you just gonna work with what you got, build with what you got, let it start off raggedy, and then you just make it better and better and better the next time that you go and you actually build $1,000,000 yourself
right.
through those small steps. So I'm like that. That's what I realized. Like that's what's gonna happen with me. Ain't nobody
I
coming to
think
save me.
hard work is honored. Um, and I think that there's honor in hard work, right? And I think
For
that
sure.
at the end of the day, people that continue to stay consistent, people that stay persistent, they always find a way, they always make a way, and there's always a lane for you. The Bible talks about how your gift will make room for you, you know what I mean? And
Yep.
how, like, all you got to do is stay tapped in, and it's going to make room
Hmm.
for you. Like, that arena that you've been trying to get into, like, I'm big on, like, I've been wanting to shoot for Ohio State football for years, bro. Like, and mind you, at the time I didn't know sports videography or photography. I just felt like, I'm qualified. What's
Mhm.
up? Give me a shot, right? And that's one thing that always keeps coming back to my mind is your gift will make room for you. You don't have to fight people to get into the rooms that God wants you in. You don't have to fight
Mhm.
people to do the things that you want to do. All you got to do is find a lack, execute on the lack, and then move on to the next and continue to be consistent in doing that and being creative. Um, this was dope, man. It was dope just, being able to chat with you about, just your process. And I think the viewers definitely got a lot of gems just from, hearing, kind of your story and, what kind of motivates you and keeps the wheels churning, because I think that's
Mhm.
something that as a creative we all need to hear, right? And every
For
creative
sure.
has its own way of keeping his wheels churning. I've literally heard some people say, man, I had to take a break. I had to put it down, take a hiatus, and see
Hmm.
if that's something I really love. If you really love it, you're going to miss it. And I had to go back to it, right? Because I didn't feel complete without it.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so, you got all different types of people's coping mechanisms when it comes down to, creating and trying to stay creative. And so just hearing yours, man, was very, it was good, man. It was good for the soul. It was good for my spirit, man. And, I'm sure somebody else out there is definitely going to eat
I
on
hope
that
so.
on
I
that
hope
word
so.
that you gave and put forth, man. Johnny, man, if you had to give any last words, man, because it was definitely a pleasure having you on the show, man. What would you have to
Hmm.
tell somebody right now, man, that maybe just hanging their head right now, not really sure where to go with this creative process, with this world that they're in,
Hmm.
whether it's art, whether it's dance, music, any of the creative spaces, what would you say?
I would say don't underestimate the power of giving. This is one thing that I learned from this. It was a Christian clothing brand. As I'm trying to build mine, this guy's was pretty big and coming up. And I asked him, I was like, man, how you do it? How did you do that? How did you get it to that point?
Hmm.
And he said, I'm a professional giver. He said, I give, and when I don't got it, I give some more. And he said, and it is crazy how the principle of what God says in regards to giving, how that has an effect. Et said that, there might not be nothing behind your feelings, behind every principle is a promise.
Mm.
And so just tying those things together, I realized that me giving played into the business aspect of things so much. So when every time that I have any type of product, I got these hats that I'm getting ready to push out.
Yeah, that
I
hat
think
cold
I'm
too,
getting
by the
like
way.
thank you. I'm getting 50 of them, and 5 of them I'm giving away. 10% of it I'm giving it away. But besides just doing that, that's an amazing idea for product placement. You give somebody something for free and they love it and they think it's dope quality and all of that, they're going to rock it. And then
Right.
people are going to be like, hey, where'd you get that from? I want that too. You got to pay for it. I got it for free.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's just like playing on that concept of things. If you want to be a videographer for a certain, like you were saying, like for Ohio State or something, like immediately what popped in my head, bro, was just like go to the spring game and shoot and create something so dope and you just put it out there on social media. So when those players just like, yo, who did that video? That was dope. You gave that away for free. You can let people see
Mm-hmm.
your skill set, see your talent. Everybody wants
Mm-hmm.
to be seen for their potential and not their kinetic energy. They just
Mm.
want like, oh well, I got the potential. Like your potential don't mean nothing. Potential energy is absolute trash until it switches over into kinetic. Until you start moving, until you actually start doing something, then that potential can actually be worth something. But if you just sitting on potential, then you're sitting and it means absolutely nothing. So I would say don't underestimate the power of being a giver. Whatever skill or talent you got and you don't know how to start, find somebody to do it for free. And as you get better, you get to practice, you get to learn and build your craft, and then it's like a supply and demand. You will create a demand for yourself. People will get to see that value, and then you'll get to the point where you get to set your price structure, and you can get booked in ways like that. But just give. Start off giving.
Mm. That was dope, man. That was dope, and the gift of giving, man, is a whole episode on itself, man. For real, because
Right, right.
we all have been there. You know what I mean? Especially where we feel like we knew in a lane, and we need to really have proof of concept because POC nowadays is everything, especially when it comes down to networking and doing business. But those are some great gems, man. Johnny, man, we truly appreciate having you on, man, and it's been a blessing. Thank you for being on the first episode, man. This is powerful
Thank y'all
for
for
us.
having me.
It's only going to get better from here, you know what I mean? And we look forward to seeing, a lot of the content and stuff that you got out. Man, before you leave, just go ahead and shout out like your IGs and your websites and all that stuff, man. Let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm pretty consistent across all platforms at Koldstich. There's a majority of them on the IG, on Snapchat. I'm Johnny Too Good on Twitter. So Johnny I Good. Instagram Koldstich. Or Johnny Gang. That's my brand. So and then the website is www.johnnygang.store, and gang is GVNG. So
Mm-hmm.
JohnnyGVNG.store. That's where you can see all my merch, all the product, and everything that I push out. And I'll soon start putting my artwork up there as well. So um, just look up John Koldstich. I'm the only one. You can Google me.
That's hey man, hey that's dope, man. That's dope, man.
Cool.
Make sure y'all go follow my guy, and make sure y'all
Yo,
give him, run up this video, man. Make sure y'all, drop some comments, man, down in the comment section and like the video.
for
If
sure,
everything
for sure.
it was great, if you took something away from his story, and like I said, most importantly, make sure you go follow him. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're
I
not only
appreciate it.
providing a
I
platform
appreciate that.
for our creatives, but for creatives to start building a following and for people to start getting to know these unique people that we know. So Johnny, man, we appreciate you, man. It's been a pleasure, man, and look forward
Yes,
to
sir.
having you back on later on, sometime later, man, just
Absolutely.
to kind of see the progress and see where you at, man, for sure.
Heck yeah. And I want to jump on so I can start interviewing people with y'all. I'm part of the
Hey,
gang.
Johnny is part of the gang. Now,
We in.
I will say this while he on here because I don't like saying things behind people's back. Johnny already got his we will start having badging ceremonies where people, this is KFC and friends, you know what I mean? So as more people come on the show, but Johnny is an OG friend, just like Kim. So they are already part of the logo, man. So Johnny, man, like always, I appreciate you, man. I salute to you,
sir.
man. And
Yes,
until
sir,
next
man.
time, dog.
Peace.
Absolutely, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
My dog, man. Hey, he dropped a lot of gems, man. And
Yeah, you did.
I what was something that you took away from? What was the main takeaway for you, man? Because he said a lot.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the lack of making him do things that even on like just like that screen print.
Mm-hmm.
Dude only had $20, you know what I'm saying, and was able to. He was adamant about getting this done, and he did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's how it is, man. Like to me, that's
Yeah.
what I really took from that. Just like combined together, because like when you put your mind to something, bruh, you got it. You can just do it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, I think same, man, same. I like I said, that's been stuck with me for 2 weeks ever since we knew we were going to interview him, man. Just going through some of the stuff when I seen that video, it's something that I just never thought of. You know what I mean? Just the lack, right? Like you create when you lack. Grandma used to lack all the time. That's why Grandma was cooking up some things in the kitchen. We can't even cook up no more because, you know what I mean? Grandma had to put her own little tang, on that baby. You know what I mean? Like, how come my fried chicken don't taste like Grandma's? Well, she used to have to use this because she ain't had that. But it made it even more better. And so I think, empowering and moving on the lack and figuring out, like I said, it's not always lack of finances. It could be just lack of anything that you have. Use that as an opportunity to create, man. Kim, man, it's been a pleasure today, man. I appreciate you, man. This is episode 1. We still fighting through all the jitters and different things like that, but I appreciate you, man, for being here, man, and helping me do this and being along the journey with me, man. I respect you. I salute you, and I always say, man, it's not about what people say to your face, but it's about how they talk about you when you're not around. And I always have positive things to say about you, man. And I know the love is the same, man. So I appreciate everything you've done for the industry and the game, man. And until next time, we definitely gonna be back next week, man. So next week, we got a whole nother one. I got a banger coming for y'all. And then after that, we're going to see who can bring to the table. But we definitely got a banger, man, coming next week. My boy, Aaron Leroy, will definitely be with us, man. Leroy, boy, he probably going to kill me for messing up his name. But my boy, Aaron Leroy, man, he's a beast, man, a creative genius, somebody much like Johnny, that does a lot of just from the ground up type of work, and just type of person, man, that really just gonna get it done. He's a hustler, a motivator, man, and a preacher. So I look forward to hearing a lot of what he got to say too, man. Make sure y'all go run it up right now, man. Make sure if you haven't subscribed right now, man, make sure you go subscribe at the Director's Den podcast. Make sure you follow us on all channels, man. We streaming audio, and we do have the visuals for you guys as well, man. So, and thank you for everybody that's already showed support to the Director's Den podcast, man, because we just want to create an avenue and a space where creatives can come and talk genuinely about their purpose, about their passion, and about why they create, man. Once again, make sure y'all go follow at Koldstich too, man. Make sure y'all go support his work and run them jackets up, man. He got them Letterman's jackets. He got the Oxblood. That baby is cold. He got the hats. I've already got my hat, man. He's got a lot of good gems, and especially when he put his artwork up. I mean, you talking about stuff, a guy that can take your face and put it on like a whole platform, man, and put lights and everything behind it. He's so cold with it, man. I don't want to spoil it. Make sure y'all go check him out, man. And until next time, you already know, man. It's the Director's Den. We out week 1. Let's get it.
Yeah, so that's it right there.